Years have passed since the release of Death Stranding. The emotions of the first impression have subsided, the wow effect has dulled, and today, on the RTV Gaming channel, we will analyze Hideo Kojima's game and try to understand whether some people deserve to consider his game a boring courier simulator or still it deserves to be called a masterpiece of video games. Thank you for subscribing to the RTV Gaming channel so as not to miss new videos. And we are starting. Hideo Kojima has been trying to blur the line between games and movies since the beginning of his career. With Death Stranding, his passion for directing is on full display, and the videos are of great artistic value, shot on a Hollywood scale, some of them an hour long, and starring well-known actors. But still, Death Stranding is a game that can surprise any gamer with its originality. Death Stranding is so multifaceted, complex that it will take more than one playthrough to fully understand the game. In a nutshell, the plot reads as follows: the world of the living came into contact with the world of the dead. This event caused a catastrophe called Death Stranding. After this phenomenon, creatures from the afterlife, called creatures, poured into our world. The game takes place in America, most of the population of which died. The surviving citizens hid in underground shelters called cities. Since the surface of the earth is full of dangers, people are forced to use the services of couriers delivering all kinds of goods. At the center of this twisted story is a courier named Sam Porter Bridges. He leads a reclusive life and avoids contact with people in every possible way. At the request of a dying head of state, Sam embarks on an expedition from the east coast of America to the west coast to rescue her daughter Amelia from captivity. Sam has another task: to connect all the settlements using the chiral network, something like the internet, and convince the inhabitants to join the UCA, United Cities of America. The gameplay is the most controversial aspect of the game. On the one hand, there are not so many gaming opportunities. On the other hand, the developers from Kojima Productions have worked out the gameplay to the smallest detail. The player will have to think over the best route, correctly place the cargo, monitor the condition of the shoes so as not to erase their feet, control the weather, because rain or snow damage the cargo. During the first hours, the gameplay seems boring and monotonous, but as you progress, the game introduces new mechanics. At some point, the gamer catches himself thinking that he is interested in coming up with another route and following it. In a word, the player who has not abandoned Death Stranding within the first couple of hours will be rewarded with an exciting adventure that will be remembered for a long time. When creating Death Stranding, Hideo Kojima, as always, made a huge emphasis on character development. To embody their images, the Japanese game designer attracted many celebrities: Norman Reedus, Mads Mikkelsen, Guillermo del Toro, Troy Baker, comedian Conan O'Brien and Lindsay Wagner, Kojima's favorite actress. Almost every phrase of the heroes has a second, and sometimes a third meaning. Even the name of the character hides his tragic history. Death Stranding's soundtrack, written by Ludwig Forshell, and compositions by Low Roar and Silent Poets, perfectly emphasize the melancholy atmosphere of the game. When the music turns on in Sam's next long journey, the player experiences genuine pleasure. The music perfectly matches the spirit of Death Stranding and is an integral part of the game. Death Stranding raises many life themes: the senselessness of war, the lack of empathy among people, the fragmentation of humanity, the inevitability of death. However, the main idea of the game lies in the value of connections between people, family, friendship, love. This aspect is reflected even in the gameplay. For example, by building a bridge across the river, the player not only makes the task easier for himself, but also helps others. Very few games make gamers think about serious things while sitting at the screen. Perhaps this is the main value of Death Stranding. In conclusion, it is worth noting that Death Stranding is definitely not a game for everyone. Hideo Kojima himself has repeatedly stated that he does not fully understand his creation. If meditative gameplay, unusually long cutscenes and a complex plot do not suit you, we advise you to bypass the Kojima Productions project. However, if you are tired of hundreds of identical, inexpressive games, and you want to get a unique gaming experience, Death Stranding will be a breath of fresh air for you and will give you unforgettable emotions. That's all. Remember that life exists outside the internet, and it is better to establish connections between people in the real world. See you on the RTV Gaming channel.